Let us see. Here are a few examples that show how various types of sentences in different degrees of comparison can be interchanged. That means changing positive to comparative, comparative to superlative, and comparative to positive, superlative to positive, etc. So we can separate that into different types. First type, no other profession is as noble as teaching. So the first one, no other profession is as noble as teaching. Can you observe which degree is used here? Yes, it is positive degree because the adjective noble is used, not nobler or noblest. From this we can identify that it is positive degree. And this type begins with no other. So by looking at the sentence itself, we can identify that it is first type. First type begins with no other in positive degree. You have to observe that word. Next, comparative. Teaching is nobler than any other profession. What are the changes made here? The last word in the positive degree is teaching. So after that adjective only teaching is used. But here the beginning itself teaching is used. So the last will become first, teaching. Then he is using the verb. Instead of as noble as, we use the word nobler than. Nobler than. So noble comparative form is nobler. And we use the special word than. For positive degree, we use the special word as, that word, and then again as. Otherwise, so, the positive degree word, then as. So instead of as, we have to remove both and we have to use than instead, nobler than in comparative. Teaching is nobler than any other profession. Remember the word no other changed into any other profession. So it is a singular form, not professions, profession. So no other, instead of no other, in positive degree we are using any other profession. Superlative degree, teaching is the noblest of all professions. We can use this one. Otherwise, teaching is the noblest profession. This will be the second one will be easy for you. Teaching, so the comparative form and superlative form, the beginning is same. Teaching is the noblest. Instead of nobler than, we use the noblest. Noble, nobler, noblest. In superlative, it is preceded by the noblest profession. That's all. No other and any other we need not use. Because it is in singular, it is the only thing, the superior teaching. So teaching is the noblest profession. You have to observe two things mainly. First thing is in type 1, singular form is used, singular form. So it begins with no other in positive, and in comparative, instead of that, we will be using any other. And in superlative, just we use that adjective in superlative form and noun, that's all. But in second type, plural form is used. Very few professions are as noble as teaching. So here is the difference. If it is plural form, that means not only teaching, some other professions also there. Other than teaching also some other professions are there which is nobler. So very few professions are as noble as teaching, but limited. So in plural form we use type 2. Teaching is nobler than many other professions or most other professions. So in the first type we use the any other. Here we are using many other or most other. So in front of superlative also we use the word most, but that is different. Here instead of many we are using most. This is also correct. Most other professions. Teaching is one of the noblest professions. If the meaning is some more professions are there just like teaching, then we have to use the word one of the noblest. But remember, it is ending in professions, plural form. When we use the phrase one of the, we have to use the plural noun only. Right. Now you understood the first type and second type. First type is singular and second type is plural form. And in first type, positive begins with no other, but in second type, positive begins with very few. And in comparative form, first type, any other is used, and in comparative, many other or most other is used. And in superlative form, just the article the plus adjective plus noun. But here one of the, that phrase one of the plus adjective plus that plural noun. Okay, these two are actually very important types, and other forms are type 3. Apples are costlier than mangoes in the summer season. Here only two things are compared, two types of fruits, apples and mangoes. So if only two types are there, we cannot use superlative degree at all. So there is no superlative degree for this type. Apples are costlier than mangoes in the summer season. So we are comparing apples and mangoes. We are using that comparative form costlier, costly, costlier, costliest. So here superlative form is not used because only two things are compared. Apples are costlier than mangoes in the summer season. So we have to begin with the second noun, the mangoes. Mangoes are not so costly as apples in the summer season. In the summer season is the uh, phrase, it can be added in the end. Other things should be changed. The order also changed. You have to observe the order. First, in the positive, we have to, when we change into positive, we have to use the second things used for comparison. Here apples and mangoes. Here mangoes used first. Mangoes are, when we change the order, we have to include the word not. Mangoes are not so costly as. So remember, we are using mangoes first, then are, that verb, and costlier changed into as costly as or so costly as. Because already I said when we use not in the sentence, we have to use so instead of as. Not so costly as. So remember, in the positive degree, so adjective plus as or as adjective plus as, that is the special word. In comparative, after that word we use than, that is the special word. Okay. So mangoes are not so costly as apples in the summer season. So type 4, it is almost the same, but slight difference is there. Apples are not more expensive than mangoes during winter. Apples are not more expensive. In comparative form, negative is used. So in positive form, we need not use that word not. Mangoes are as expensive as. More expensive changed into as expensive as. As expensive as apples during winter. Then another type. We have not watched such a thrilling movie as this. So it is rarely used. We have not watched such a thrilling movie as this. This movie is more thrilling than any other movie we ever we have ever watched. So two, almost like two clauses are compared. So this is the most thrilling movie we have ever watched. So you observe how it is changed. Sometimes it also can be asked. So the last type, type 6, my brother can climb a tree as fast as a monkey. So how he can climb, in the adverb, it is used as fast as a monkey. So if adverb form is given, here also two things or two actions are combined. A monkey cannot climb. A monkey cannot climb a tree faster than my brother. So when we use adverb, we can use type 6. So what you have to do is, when the transformation of sentence is given for exam, or when you change one form to another, first thing is you have to identify which type is used, whether it is first type singular form or second type plural form, or the third type only two things are combined, and fourth type also two things are combined. These four are very important here. First identify which type is used. After that you can apply those rules. So for example, transform each of the following sentences using the comparative degree without changing the meaning of it. Very few Indian languages are as ancient as Tamil. So very few, by seeing the phrase itself you can identify that it is second type. So the plural form is used here, languages. So if it is plural form, comparative should be, instead of very few, will be using many other or most other. And the last noun should be used first. So how will you change this? Tamil is more ancient than many other Indian languages or most other Indian languages. Good. That should be used in this way. So the remaining sentences also you can change into comparative form. The second task, rewrite each of the following sentences using the superlative degree, retaining the meaning. The meaning should not change. Shakespeare is greater than many other dramatists of the world. It is also second type because many other dramatists is given here. Many other and most other in comparative is used, that is second type. So change into superlative degree. I said to you earlier that superlative degree and comparative degree, the beginning remains same. So Shakespeare is, instead of greater than, what do you have to use? The greatest, one of the greatest, because the second type we have to use the phrase one of the. Shakespeare is one of the greatest dramatists in the world, dramatist of the world. So here we made the changes. Shakespeare is one of the, we added the phrase one of the, as it is second type. One of the greatest dramatists, plural form, of the world. So the remaining also you can try to do it. The next task is replace the comparative adjectives in the following sentences with their positive forms. Okay. Rural life is certainly more peaceful than urban life. So when we use the positive form, the last noun form should be used first. So urban life. Urban life is not as peaceful as rural life. So certainly also we can use certainly not as peaceful as rural life. So identify the type first, then use accordingly. Here we cannot use the superlative form, this type of sentences. Okay, I hope you understood and you can do these three tasks right in the classwork and you can send a snap of it to me today itself. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Thank you.